St. Clair County RESA presents Dateline Schools, hosted by Terry Harrington.
It's beginning to be that time of year again when local students anticipate taking the state's assessment tests. The test is now called MSTEP, and that's our topic all this week on Dateline Schools. And to tell us all about it, my guest from the East China Public School District is the Secondary Curriculum and Instruction Coordinator, Catherine Woolman. And Catherine, what does MSTEP mean?
MSTEP is the Michigan Test of Educational Progress. So that's a long name that basically says it tests to see where are students in comparison to other students in their grade across the state. How do they compare?
And so this is really a program that's quite a bit different from the old MEP test that we kind of eliminated a couple of years ago, right?
It's very different. For starters, it's on the computer. The test that was, the old MEP test was paper, pencil, and it was in a very short window. The state gives us a month now for each grade level, so we can spread these tests out, and the tests look very different. They're computer adaptive, so not every student in the room has the same test, whereas when you had the paper pencil test, everyone had the same paper, the same booklet at the same time.
Right. Is that paper pencil to computer, has that made a big change for the kids, and has it made it easier for them?
A lot of the students say that it is easier, even though I think as adults we would say the questions are much harder. They're thinking a lot more deeply, but because they're on the computer, the kids are a lot more engaged. It's not as boring as the 2 hours staring at the paper pencil. They like looking at the screen and seeing different types of questions on the screen.
Well, I mean, that's really the realm that they are engaged in, unlike when you and I were in school.
It's their world. They're more comfortable there. They'd rather do everything on the computer than pick up a pencil and write.
Have you seen much of a difference in the where your kids have landed in the program because of the computer, the technology that's being used?
In East China, we haven't seen a huge change in the results. We've remained pretty consistent with where our students are scoring. However, I think we're getting better feedback from the students on what they think we could do to help them do better. Because it's on the computer and they're more engaged, they're giving us more than just, it was boring, I'm done at the end. They're telling us what they liked and what they didn't like, what they knew, what they didn't know. So I think we're doing a better job of adjusting our curriculum and preparing them.
And my guess is I would think using the technology, because they're comfortable with that, takes a lot of the stress away too.
Yes, they do not seem as stressed, and they don't seem as exhausted at the end. There's something about sitting at your desk with your paper and pencil for 2 hours that just mentally you're drained at the end, whereas they can do an hour on the computer and they're good to go to their next class.
We'll be back with more tomorrow. For Dateline Schools, I'm Terry Harrington.